before
Well,
Grind
in
Time.
this era, let me
Grind
also
Time was
put
kind
you
of
in
Right,
born
right.
out
parallel.
of that's where the
It
jump
was
off
born out of
battles. We
that.
had guests, Jay Smooth, who explained the missing tapes and all
Right,
this
right,
stuff
right.
from the
Hmm.
history of jump off, which is what birthed Grind Time from there. Which Direct also mentioned in his interview. So, yep, yeah,
Yeah, of course, all of that is evolved around the Maniac Squad stuff too. So I would touch on that. But basically, at the same time, parallel to hip hop world, in my personal life, I was also working at the largest advertising agency in the world. So I started there around like 2001, maybe, and I was working there at the same time, which was basically funding my hip hop stuff. And I was on the side. I was also doing artwork for artists like Big Zoo, Nunzio. Back then, Robin Marks now was Webified. I was doing a lot of Webified stuff. Grammy Award winning artist or and slash producer Jay Storm, or I don't know what he goes by now, but I was doing his stuff back then. You name it, I was basically behind the scenes. Even with Jump Off TV battles, Harry would come to me. He would sit down in my workspace and he would talk to me about where he should go in the city to battle, who he should put together to battle. What do I know? So I was involved with things heavily in hip hop at that point, but in the background, So a lot of people don't even know that. So along with that, a lot of things are synonymous with my brother at the times. We were basically like this all the time back then. We were doing Fight Club back then as well. So Fight Club, I know everybody knows like the Iron Solomon Jin battle. All these big time battles. I think Nims and Old Solo was one on MTV back then.
hmm
So we were trying to be like them in a sense and get him on the air for battling. So I was behind the scenes helping push him while he battled. I sat there while he battled 20 MCs at the pool table off air, right?
yeah, off air.
Just for
I
them to
mean,
tell him
that's where we all, were because
he
they
won
were
20 battles one night. Who can do that? 20 battles one night, right? And then he told them they don't want to put him on the air.
yeah, no, they were
So
just different. You know what I mean? Like they were
they were.
very they like I remember when I went in there, they had like a battle lined up for me, but like I didn't know who it was. I just went in there and
Hmm.
I was freestyling and bodying him because the cameraman was laughing. Like when I had the cameraman laughing,
Hmm.
I was like, forget it, I'm killing this kid. You crazy? And they came up to me afterwards. It was like, yo, you did really good, but don't ever come in here freestyling again. And I was just like,
Yeah,
okay,
they want you to
shit.
come like they don't trust they specifically told us they don't trust freestyling, and that's all my brother pretty much
Mm-hmm.
did. They don't trust it on air. They want everything to be solid,
Mm-hmm. On
which
air. Yeah,
I think is
exactly.
a negative to them back then because they should have accepted as long as it's fire. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
But
but
they
also I
uh,
understand the quality control. Like
Yeah.
they like as somebody who's like thrown events, I understand. Like they're in battle rap, especially nowadays, where it's just like I expect my I expect somebody who I give a platform to come prepared. And coming prepared is having your rounds written and memorized, not
Mm.
showing up and trying to freestyle through 3 rounds.
Cause like
That's offensive to me
I look
because
at it
now it's just
also
like, oh,
like
you
like
just whatever, huh?
we also like when your boy is the illest or your brother is the illest. That's cool, but you just gotta imagine how many people are not the illest too, and so maybe they can
hmm
handle it in like the context of at like the pool table or whatever. But can they do that on camera with like like I get it from a production
mhm.
point of view, but I also get it from the point of view where it's like maybe not as open or like they're missing out on obvious
So
talent and stuff.
now that you say that, I have to kind of jump in because you're gonna segue me into the next part. So I don't want to be all night, but um, so basically, once they told him no, he had the idea of going to 106 in Park, and I rode with him basically um, because I believed in him. You know what I'm saying? So we would go up there, and I'm gonna tell part of this, not the whole thing, because I feel like this is more his story. So I'm tell just part of it. Um, Went up there, and he wasn't supposed to be on the air, but we lied and said he was. So I would be there backing him, and every time he went up there, every week we'd say, "He's supposed to be on the air. What's going on? We're up here. They're not putting us on. Let us in." And eventually we get a name, and we drop that name. The next week we come, "Oh, Jim said blah blah blah," and then they go and ask for somebody else. Then they give us another name. So every week we would do that until finally we went one week, and we ended up going to the pizza shop down the block because they didn't let us in. And we're in the pizza shop, and we seen a guy that was in the building now in the pizza shop, and we just started openly talking and mentioning names we were dropping and stuff like that, how we're supposed to be on the air. And the guy turns around and goes, "Hey, you guys supposed to be on the air today?" We're like, "Yeah, we are." He goes, "Oh, well, I'm the cameraman." We're like, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah, hold on, let me call such and such." So he calls somebody, and they literally walked us in there. And that's how my brother ended up winning basically the most wins in
Bravo,
Consistent Park
sir.
history.
Bravo.
That
That's
is
that's the way.
that's out
That's
of
the
a
way
movie.
to. Now that's the way to move. Like I tell people all the time from like working in the stagehand industry that like I could walk into any event that I want to. But like this is like a live thing, and I don't want to put that into the world, and I don't want to explain how to do that to people.
Yeah,
But
please
like,
don't.
yeah, ill is quite a entrepreneurial young man with a hustler spirit to like. That's how
Nah,
you
it's
do it
wild
right
still.
there.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, no.
yeah. So I mean, that whole thing turned into like one of the biggest moments, especially for him, because he was actually on the air and doing things. But behind the scenes, I was like in love with the world. I was able to see the inner workings of BET on CBS. It was filmed at CBS Studios,
Mhm.
and I was able to see things that enlightened me to a different level where I'm behind the scenes basically telling people what to do in order to make things look better on camera. And if not me, I would say my brother we're credited as having the biggest episode on 106 The Park history with the most ratings, more than Bow Wow ever had or anybody. And it sucks because we weren't paid, we weren't like anything of
Yeah,
that nature, but basically
yeah.
it's things that I've personally been behind. And I mean, we had BET come out to New Jersey and film us like a reality show, you know, like who could say that? And then we didn't just stop there. His competition was a friend of ours too. He was from Newark, so we had them go film him too. Like we were helping other people, in the same, you know, movement. And that was
Building
that was
Jersey up.
that was a great time.
Mhm.
So
Nah, you guys did a
moving
you
ahead,
guys did a you
basically.
guys did a great job. I can tell you from like being around EO Dub at the same time and kind of being like we were all in the same class like around the same time.
I like
You
that, the
guys would
same
move really
class.
tight. Yeah, I
We are
mean,
we're the same
because
class, definitely.
yeah, yeah, same years. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Um,
eh?
Listen,
same
I'm
graduating
gonna
same
say right
graduating
here,
class. You know what I mean?
that same graduating class had the Maniac Squad, and guess what? The Maniac Squad won the team challenge. I'm
Yeah, they did.
gonna say it out here to remind people. We won the
Hmm.
team challenge. We beat FYL. I'm
Hmm.
gonna put that out there. People seem to forget
FYL is
that.
fuck your life crew. I don't think that the year that you guys won though that Nems was in it, right? Or was he?
I think he was not.
I think he was not. But
I
Dayton,
think he.
it's also not like you guys were up against slouches. I imagine because like
Oh no,
FY,
they had
like the
Iron
crews
Solomon even
always,
on their
you know what
team.
I mean?
Like
They were solid guys. You know what I mean? They, Iron Solomon, Nems, Dayton, which is like Dayton is like
Eternal.
pretty like if you look up Dayton Holden, you'll be like, oh, who the fuck is this guy that I never know about?
Yeah,
And
he's also from
start
Jersey.
like
Note
being
that.
all
Note
impressed
that.
by his numbers and his visibility online. But yeah, nah, you guys were tight and you guys repped for Jersey hard. Like there was nobody in the New York City indie scene at the time that was probably repping
Listen,
for Jersey as hard
there
as
was
you
only
guys.
one member of the Maniac Squad that was not from Jersey. Only one. And that member was Jay Arch. Jay
Hmm.
Arch, I call him Uncle. Jay Arch
Rest in peace
demanded
to Archer.
that he be a part of this. Rest in peace to him,
Yo,
definitely.
rest in
He
peace to Archer,
demanded
man. He
because the
was such a
movement,
supporter, great supporter.
he
That's
was.
crazy. Jay Arch
He
is like
demanded,
the bridge between our groups then, because Jay Arch was also a member of the
yeah.
Bronx Zoo Animals, and he was on the Bronx Zoo Animals
Mm-hmm.
mixtape, and Archer was also a member of the Bronx Zoo. So it's just like it goes, and he was adamant too about, you know what I mean, being a part of that. He's also a member of Immortal Techniques uh crew. Oh man, I'm it's slipping my mind.
He used to,
But like Swave Sava, Poison
Rebel
Pen,
Arms, I think it
Rebel
was.
Arms. There we go, Rebel Arms. He's a member of Rebel Arms. Like like this is who we're talking about right now. J Arch is like, shh, bro, another level type of guy. Rest in peace, J Arch.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, a lot happened after 106 and Park. I became like, I guess, like a more assistant backup to my brother, basically, which put me in a position where I was constantly dealing business with some people out there, in the industry. Um, uh, Basically, my brother had the opportunity to get booked on tour with Jay Z, and obviously, I'm going with him. So we were on the Blueprint 3 tour. I used to handle like artwork, obviously, when you needed on the road. I would basically assist with bags and things like that, and kind of humbled myself just to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And it was an interesting experience. I was we basically shared a tour bus with Memphis Bleek and his crew, and I learned a lot from Bleek. Even he taught me things
Um,
like
you're talking about Get
always
Low
always
Entertainment,
wear Get Low
right?
Entertainment, or I think he's Warehouse Music Group
Well,
now.
oh
Yeah,
damn, no, was it Warehouse
but
already? It's Warehouse
it
now,
was it was Get Low
but
then. Still, it's
I was
Warehouse
gonna
now.
say, yeah, back
It was
then
Get Low back then.
Blueprint 3 was still Get Low, I think. Then now
It was still
it's
Get Low.
Warehouse. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Young Proof, Living Proof, because he was like Bleak's protege back then. We used to chill with him a lot. But basically, he taught me some strange things that I never would know, like never walk around the tour bus without like some kind of sock on or some kind of flip flop on, because you use the
Facts,
bathroom
facts,
in the little
facts.
bathroom, right? And what happens when you pee? You get splashed a little bit. It gets on the floor. You got 15 guys on a tour bus. Somebody's splashing, like it's moving.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
15.
So what
That's
happens? You get
15
piss on your
guys
sock or
splash.
whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
nasty.
And you're gonna track that
Hmm.
into your bunk when you go to sleep, right? And then
Oh,
you're gonna get sick.
nasty. Ugh.
So he used to tell you
Yep.
never walk around. If you have socks on, you go and travel on a bus, you take them shits off and you throw them out or you do something else. You know what I'm saying? But never get in your bunk with anything that you're walking around the bus on. And
Bro, I
things
never
like
would
that
have
was
thought of
holy
that.
shit.
I
Like I would
never
never
would
know
have. Like,
Yeah.
that.
and then not that there's a health aspect to it, right? Like, this isn't just some vapid. It's no. It's like, bro, we can't afford you getting sick on tour, so don't do this.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Big facts.
And then the thing I have to say in public is in 1999, I was trying to be Memphis Bleek's like protege, without even knowing me. So I used to wear my hat like him, had a do rag on all the time, and I just kind of started forming my bars a little bit like him because I liked his delivery back then. Even though people traditionally say he's terrible, they don't like him. I always felt the opposite. I identify with a lot of things he said because it is what it is, right? So for me to be on a tour bus in Memphis Bleak was like, holy shit! Like I can't believe I went from buying this guy's CDs to listen to Rockefeller freestyles on the radio to playing spades and talking about fucking Call of Duty with him. You know what I'm saying? And that was like a whole different like perspective, and that's when I really realized like, hey, people are people. You know what I'm saying? Like he's Memphis Bleak, but he's still a person. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even interested in hearing like anything about his old songs or anything. He's like, whatever, man. Let's chill. So it was a whole different thing.
No, I mean that makes sense too. It's like Flacco was saying to me earlier. You know, like famous people don't want to be like gushed over in that way. Like in a sense, they want to have people that they
Nobody
can talk
does.
about Call of Duty with. Cause
Only a sociopath wants to have somebody in their face all like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Anybody else, anybody who's famous is like, bro, you're the millionth person. You're super unmemorable. But like
mm,
the more like calm, cool that you are about shit, the more respect that you get out of those type of people. You know.
but also
Exactly.
it's
So,
yeah.
well, I was just gonna say, I mean, aside from all that tour experience, that was this like my second opportunity to go out the country. I have to also mention that right before we went on the Jay Z thing, we ended up one of our team members. I had moved on to basically leaving the Maniac Squad and I actually joining my brother's team, which is Make a Move. And one of the team members, Dirty Mac, won the U.S. Challenge of Championship, and he got
For
the
EO
opportunity to
Dub.
go to England. So we went to England, yeah, for EO Dub, and we went to England for 10 days. We were out there like a couple days before everyone else, and we were able to really take in London and get to do things that nobody else kind of ended up doing in that stint. For instance, we got to talk to the youth out there about the dangers of knife crime, which is here will be like gun violence, but over there was knife crime, and and also we were able to hit the studio. So I have a song with like Stick of the Dump and like all these people, and I actually was like the anchor on that. That was one of my proud moments. Like, I always wanted to link up with Stick. He's not really that friendly in that sense, but he's people, but he's not like the one that's gonna be like, oh, come do a song with me like right away. You know what I'm saying? You guys get to know you kind of person. So it was kind of dope that I was able to go out there. Basically, that was my first tour experience altogether because we were having to travel a different country, get to different venues and events. We performed all over the place, and it was a dope experience there too. So shout out to England, everybody in the UK, Maslow.
Shouts to the UK. Yeah, shouts to Maslow.
Yeah.